What's up, you guys? So today we're gonna do a little run through of a situation that happened to me while out with one of my clients. There are loose dogs that get out of their gates or jump over their fences and things like that, and usually in a whim we're not filming this situation. Some trainers do have footage of stuff like that out there. What's just amazing is somehow I was filming this success of the dog in front of me, and this situation just came into view, and I caught it all, most of it, on film. So I wanted to share it with you because there's a few really good key points to this video and what may happen in a situation like this. So we're gonna run through it and break it down, and hopefully you guys will get some information and be better prepared if this situation ever happens to you and your dog. So we'll go ahead and start it. I'll watch it with you guys and we'll talk about it. She's walking really good. This dog is particularly afraid of almost everything and responsive to almost everything. People, men, other dogs, just strangers in general. So we pause so that I can ask the handler to ask her to sit. There is some yelling that starts to happen in the distance, and this is where I hadn't checked in yet. I think the person behind me starts to say, "Oh my God," because they see what's coming. But I'm so focused on the dog in front of me that I didn't notice what was coming towards us. So I ask them to ask for the sit again, and you'll see the moment the dog sees what's coming. So let's check it out. Right here, when she kind of ducks her head down, is when she sees the other dog. I look over and see the other dog, at which point my brain goes into like power mode, because there's a bunch of things that are running through my head right now. The dog coming towards us does not have a leash or a collar on. The dog coming towards us is much smaller than my dog. And I know that my dog is not going to appreciate what's about to happen. So what I need to do is neutralize my dog so that she doesn't hurt anybody, and it can hopefully deter the other dog when she's in a calmer state. So I run over, I grab her leash, and give her a pretty strong pull up. And what that does is, since she's on a gentle leader, it places her in a sit as well as keeps her head facing up so she cannot get to the other dog. So you'll see now he comes into pan. Cute little thing, a little Jack Russell comes up, but his attitude quickly switches. So he lunges straight for my dog, which, if she were not wearing the head collar, it would be a really bad day for this little guy. We're gonna watch a few more seconds and then I'm gonna tell you what happens next. So she tries to get away and he continues to clobber her. I know that if I reach in and try to grab this dog, he's most likely going to respond and bite me. My mission at this point is to make sure nobody gets bit. So I have to, unfortunately, use my foot to neutralize him and get him off of my dog. And how I did this, again, I'm not going to show the footage because it's probably not a good thing to have that just on the internet in case it gets used out of context. But he like, here's my dog, and he was coming up at my dog's face, so he's at this angle. And what I saw was that he had just kind of his open abdomen part showing. So I used my foot to like lift him off of my dog. I didn't go straight for the face. I didn't go in reaching and grabbing. I used that leverage and scooped him up and off of my dog. So you'll see him kind of, you know, floating away here. And my dog obviously is panicking. The owner starts to come into pan and is yelling and screaming and apologizing and, you know, really, really agitated with his dog. We, of course, are in just deflection mode. So we're like, it's okay. I let the owner grab his dog before we start moving again because I don't want to trigger the dog to come back towards us. I keep my dog stationary. And it's a small enough dog to where if it were to come back towards us, I'd probably be a little more prepared for it and kind of shoo him away from the situation. So the owner picks up the dog, and this is the next piece you guys need to look for in case you're ever in this situation. The owner picks up the dog, and then he starts to interact with my dog. So my dog, again, is reactive, responsive, and unsure of strangers, especially men. She was just in a very, very unfortunate situation and a high stress situation. He's holding up the little dog, and I have her on the leash over here, and he starts to approach and even reach his hand out to my dog.
Oh, sorry, I can't.
No, thank you.
Yeah. Good girl.
I'm
good
sorry.
Girl. It's okay.
I'm sorry,
She's a little
baby.
flustered.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're okay. Come on, girl.
Thank
You're
you,
okay.
guys.
At this point, I knew no one was bit physically and there was no blood drawn. So I was like, we have to exit this situation now. And I just was like, thank you, have a good day. And we left the situation. He was just caught in his, you know, fluster, talking to himself, and we took off. But if you ever were in the situation and your dog was bit, unfortunately, you do have to get that guy's info, at least a phone number, or whoever's info, at least a phone number. Call it and make sure it is a correct phone number if they have their phone on them and seeing it ring. And then you will have to obtain the rabies information. I mean, you definitely can skip those steps, but that's like a really, really dicey position to be in. So it's always good just to check and follow up, as well as if she were to, or if your dog were to need medical attention, like let's say you go home and you discover the bite is severely worse than you thought. It is it is definitely okay for you to reach out to that person and be like, hey, you know, I need payment for this vet situation. And the good thing is our dog was on a leash. She was on a head collar, so we were able to neutralize her. If it was ever an off-leash situation and your dog and their dog were off-leash, then it's kind of a little dicier. But it is still good etiquette. If you were on the other end of it and your dog bit somebody, it's like, you know, it's a responsible owner thing to do. Dog bites happen. Clearly, no matter how proactive you are about a situation. So anyway, that's the video, and I just kind of wanted to show you guys a real life experience. It is not always all fluffy puppies and things like that. Sometimes you really get put in some strange situations out there. So if you'd ever been put in this position, please let me know below what you did and how it went for you. But this was just one of my experiences. Me and my dog have been charged before, and she's a small dog, and we were charged by larger dogs. So one was a pit bull. She had her leash and collar on, so as she came towards us, I was able to step between and get her leash. And then another one was an off-leash Doberman. Thank God just my body placement was enough to deter that dog. And then the other one was a off-leash, no person around, not a single human, like pointer kind of dog, a wire hair pointer. And that dog was very sketchy. I remember I put myself between my dog and him, and he stood there and stared at us for a good like minute and a half, which when you're in that situation, that's a long time. And again, it's like all these things run through my head, or if you're in that situation, it's like, what am I gonna need to do to protect myself, my dog, and cause as minimal damage to everybody in that moment. So everybody's okay. The unfortunate thing is this guy probably continued to yell at his dog, who just doesn't understand. It was just being a dog and, you know, acting all crazy, and we neutralized it, and there's no reason to yell at your dog after that, but there's all the reason in the world to teach your dog doorway boundaries, have them wear a collar and tags, and if you're out on a walk, have them on a goddamn leash. So that's the video. I hope you guys found it interesting, and if you have any questions, definitely drop them below, and I will talk to you soon.